let's move on.
We're missing the point here. This boy, let's say he's a product of a filthy neighborhood and a broken home. We can't help that. We're not here to go into the reasons why slums are breeding grounds for criminals. They are. I know it. So do you. The children who come out of slum backgrounds are potential menaces to society.
You said it there. I don't want any part of them, believe me.
I've lived in the slums all my life.
Now wait just
I played in the backyard that was filled with garbage. Maybe it still smells on me.
There's nothing personal.
Very salty.
Come on now, feller. He didn't mean you. Let's not be so sensitive.
Who didn't he?
I can't understand the sensitivity.
Please, gentlemen, it's your turn.
All right. I had a peculiar feeling about this case. Somehow I felt that the defense counsel never really conducted a thorough cross-examination. Too many questions were left unasked.
Well, it doesn't change my opinion about the guilt of the kids. Still, I agree with you. The defense counsel was bad.
So, this is a point?
What about the facts?
So many questions were never answered.
And what about the questions that were answered? For instance, let's take that switch knife that fine upright kid admitted by.
All right, let's talk about it. Let's get it in here and look at it again. I'd like to see it, Mr. Foreman.
I don't know why we have to look at it again. We all know what it looks like. And what do you think?
The man has a right to see the exhibits of evidence.
It's fine by me.
You would say this is an important piece of evidence. Would you agree?
I do.
Then let's get the sequence of events right as they relate to the switch knife.
Boy admits going out of his house at 8 o'clock after being slapped by his father.
Or punched.
Or punched. The boy went to the neighborhood store and bought the switch knife. The storekeeper was arrested the following day for admitting selling it to the boy.
I think we all agree it's a very unusual knife. It's pretty hard to forget something like
The
that.
storekeeper identified the knife as the only one of its kind. Why did the boy get it?
As a present for a friend, he says.
Am I right so far?
Right.
Now you bet he's right. Listen to this man. He knows what he's talking about.
Next, the boy claims that on his way home, the knife must have fallen through a hole in his coat pocket, that he never saw it again. Now that's a story, gentlemen. You know what actually happened. The boy went home, and a few hours later, stabbed his father with it, and even remembered to wipe off the fingerprints. Everyone connected with the case identified this knife. Now, are you trying to tell me that someone went to the boy's house, picked this up off the street, went to the boy's house, and stabbed his father with it just to be amusing?
No, I'm saying that it's possible that the boy lost the knife and that someone else stabbed his father with a similar knife. It's possible.
Take a look at that knife. It's a very strange knife. I've never seen one like it before. Neither had the storekeeper who sold it to him. Now, aren't you trying to make us accept a pretty incredible coincidence?
I'm not trying to make anyone accept it. I'm just saying it's possible.
And I'm saying it's not possible.
What is this?
What are you trying to do?
Look at it. It's the same knife.
Please, gentlemen, be quiet.
Where did you get it?
I got it in a little junk shop around the corner from the boy's house. It cost $2.
Now you listen to me.
I'm listening.
You pulled a real smart trick here, but you proved absolutely zero. So what if there are 10 knives like that?
Maybe there are.
The boy lied and you know it.
And maybe he didn't lie. Maybe he did lose the knife, and maybe he did go to the movies. Maybe the reason the cashier didn't see him that night was because he sneaked into the movies and was ashamed to say so. Is there anybody here who didn't sneak into the movies once or twice when they were young?
I didn't.
Really? Not even once?
We didn't have a movie.
Maybe he did go to the movies. And maybe he didn't. And he may have lied. Do you think he lied?
That's a stupid question. Of course he lied.
Do you?
You don't have to ask me. Boy lied.
Do you think he lied?
I don't know.
Now wait a second. What are you, kid's lawyer? There's still 11 of us who think he's guilty. You're alone. What do you think you're gonna accomplish? If you want to hang this jury, he'll be tried again and found guilty as sure as he's born.
You're probably right.
And what are you gonna do about it? We could be here all night.
It's only one night. I mean,
Now come on.
Yes, that's true.
How do you like this guy?
Look, you obviously don't think the boy is guilty.
I have a doubt in my mind.
But you haven't really presented us anything that can make it possible for us to understand that doubt. There's the old man downstairs. He heard it. He heard the boy screech out.
And the woman across the L tracks. She saw it. We know he bought a switch knife that night. And nobody knows where he really was. At the movies?
And we know that there was a fight between the boy and his father at about 8 o'clock.
He's been a violent kid all the way, and while that doesn't prove anything.
Still, you know...
I've got a proposition to make. I want to call for another vote. I want you 11 men to vote by secret ballot. I'll abstain. If there are still 11 votes for guilty, I won't stand alone. We'll take in a guilty verdict right now.
That sounds reasonable. Does anyone abstain?
No, let's do it.
It's all right, let's do it.
Perhaps this is the best.
Okay.
The audience mates, it's time to use the restroom or stretch their legs.
Guilty. 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 Guilty.
That's 6.
Please. Guilty. 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 Not guilty. Guilty.
How do you like that? Who was it? I think we have the right to know. What idiot changed their vote?
Is that the way to talk about a man's life?
Whose life are you talking about? Dead man or the life from birth? I want to know. Who?
A secret ballot. We agree on that point.
No one looked while we did it, but now I want to know.
A secret ballot. If the man wants to remain her secret,
There are no secrets in here. I know who it was. What is the matter with you? You come in here, you vote guilty, and then this? Slick preacher starts to tear your heart out about some kid that just couldn't help becoming a murderer. So you changed your vote. That's not the most sickening thing.
Hold on. I agree that the boy's guilty, but let's be fair.
Hold on. Be fair. That is exactly what I am saying. We're trying to put a guilty man in the chair where he belongs. And we're listening to fairy tales.
Now wait a minute.
Now you listen to me.
Please, gentlemen, let's keep it organized.
It's not organized, but let's be civilized.
please, I would like to say something here. I always thought that a man was like, but unpopular opinion in this country. This is the reason that I came here, and I will have the right to disagree.
Do you disagree with us?
In this point, no. But the point that I wish to make is that in my own country, I have much to say.
Oh, now! What do we have to listen to? The whole history of your country?
It's always wise to bear in mind what has happened in other countries, where they can't disagree. But we are, so let's stick to the subject.
Yeah, let's stick to the subject. I want to know, what made you change your vote?
Why do you think I did change my vote?
Because I do. Now get on with it.
There's nothing for him to tell ya. He didn't change his vote. I did.
I was going to tell you, but you were so sure of yourself.
I'm sorry.
Maybe you'd like to know why.
Now let me tell you why. Because that boy is...
The man wants to speak.
Thank you. This gentleman chose to stand alone. That's his right. It takes a great deal of courage to stand alone, even if you believe in something very strongly. He gave him for support, and I gave it to him. I want to hear more. The vote is 10-2.
That's fine. If the speech is over, let's go on.
If there was anything in the boy's favor, I'd vote not guilty.
I don't see what it is.
Neither do I. They're clutching at straws.
Guilty as they get. That's the kid, I suppose.
It's that one juror who's holding out. He'll come around. He's got to, and fundamentally, he's a very reasonable man.
I suppose so.
I haven't come up with one real fact yet to back up the not guilty verdict.
Well, it's hard, you know.
Yes, and what does guilty beyond a reasonable doubt really mean?
Okay, what's a reasonable doubt?
Exactly. When a life is at stake, what is a reasonable doubt? You've got to have law and order. You've got to draw a line somewhere. If you didn't, everyone would start knifing people.
Not much doubt here, that's for sure.
Two men think so. I wonder why. I really wonder why.
Well, you do hear stories of innocent men who have gone to jail, or even death sometimes. Then years later, something turns up.
And then on the other hand, you get killers who get turned loose, and they go and do it again. They squeeze out some technicality and kill again.
Look, buddy, now that we all kind of cooled off, why, I was a little excited back then. Nothing personal.
Okay.
Look, suppose you answer me this. If the kid didn't kill him, who did?
As far as I know, we're supposed to decide whether or not the boy on trial is guilty. We're not concerned with anyone else's motives here.
Who else had the motive?
His father was along in years, maybe an old grudge.
Remember, it is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. This is an important thing to remember.
But everyone's a lawyer. Supposing you tell us what your reasonable doubts are.
That's not easy. So far, it's only a feeling I have. A feeling. Maybe you don't understand.
No, I don't understand.
A feeling. What are we supposed to do? Spend a night talking about your feelings? What about the facts?
You said a mouthful. Now look, the old man heard the boy yell, "Is going to kill you." He heard the father's body fall, and he saw the boy running down the stairs. Now where's the reasonable doubt in that?
That's right. Let's not forget about the woman across the street. She looked into the open window and saw the boy stab his father. She saw it.
Now that's not enough for you.
That's not enough for me.
What is enough for you? I'd like to know.
How do you like this guy? It's like talking into a dead bone.
Look, the woman saw the killing through the moving elevated train. There were 5 cars, and she saw it through the last 2. She remembers the most insignificant details.
What have you got to say about that?
I don't know, it doesn't seem right.
Well, supposing you think about it. Hand me your pencil. Let's play some tic-tac-toe. We might as well pass the time.
This isn't the game!
Now, wait a minute.
This is a man's life!
Who do you think
All right,
you
now
are?
let's take it easy.
Got a good mind to belt him one.
Now hold it. I don't want any fights in here.
The nerve. The absolute nerve.
Don't mind him. He don't mean nothing.
How about sitting down? This isn't a game, you son.
Look, weren't we talking about elevated trains?
Yes, we were.
So?
All right. How long would it take an L train going at top speed to pass a given point?
What does that got to do with anything?
How long would it take?
I wouldn't have the slightest idea.
Neither would I. And 12 seconds, maybe.
10 seconds is close enough. Anybody else?
Yeah, 10 seconds.
About 10 seconds, yes.
All right, we're agreed. 10 seconds. What are you getting?
This. An L train takes 10 seconds to pass any given point. That given point is the window of the room in which the killing took place. Now, you could reach out of that window and almost touch the L, right?
That's right, I tried it.
Well, let me ask you this. Has anyone here ever lived next to the L tracks?
I've lived by him.
They make a lot of noise, don't they? I've lived right by the L tracks. When the window's down and the train's going by, the noise is almost unbearable. You can't hear yourself think.
Okay, you can't hear yourself there. Get to the point.
The old man downstairs heard the voice say...
He didn't say it, he screamed it.
The old man heard the voice scream, "I'm going to kill you," and 1 second later, he heard the body fall. 1 second. That's the testimony, right?
Right.
Now, the old woman who lived across the street looked through the windows of the last 2 cars of the L train and saw the body fall, correct?
Right.
So?
The last 2 cars. The last 2 cars!
What are you giving us here?
An L train takes 10 seconds to pass a given point. That's 2 seconds per car. Now, the L train had been going by the old man's window for at least 6 seconds and maybe more before the body fell, according to the woman. The old man would have had to hear the voice say, "I'm going to kill you," while the front of the L train was roaring past his nose. It's not possible that he could have heard it.
What do you mean? Of course he could have heard it.
With an L train going by?
The boy screamed it out at the top of his lungs.
An L train makes a lot of noise.
Well, it's enough for me.
It's enough for me, too.
I don't think he could have heard it.
Wait, maybe the old man didn't hear it. I mean, with the L noise.
What are you people saying? Are you calling the old man a liar?
Something doesn't fit.
It stands to reason.
Why would he lie about something like that? What's he got to gain?
Attention. Maybe?
He keeps coming up with all these bright sayings. Suppose you send one to a newspaper. They pay $2.
What does that have to do with a man's life? Why might the old man have lied? You have a right to be heard.
Well, it's just that I looked at him for a very long time. He had a split seam in his jacket. Did you notice that? I think I know this man better than anyone here. This is an old man who carries a split jacket and uses 2 canes. This is a frightened, insignificant man who's been nothing all his life. Had no recognition. His name in the paper is nothing. After 75 years, nobody knows this man. This is a very sad thing. A man like this needs to be listened to, recognized, and quoted just once. This is very important.
And you're trying to tell us that he lied about a little thing like this just so he could be important?
He wouldn't lie, but he made himself believe he heard the kid scream and believe he saw his face.
Now that's the most fantastic story I've ever heard. How could you make up something like that?
I'm not making it up.
You must be making it up. People don't lie about things like that.
He made himself believe he told the truth.
Now what do you know about it?
I speak from experience.
What?
I'm the same
I
man.
think we've heard enough. Thank you.
Now if he wants to admit he's a liar.
Now that is too much.
He's a liar. He just admitted it.
He didn't say he was a liar. He was explaining.
Didn't you just say that you were a liar?
Please! He was trying to explain the circumstances so that we can understand why the old man might have lied. There is a difference.
A liar is a liar. There is no difference.
Please, have some compassion!
Gentlemen, please! We have our job and our duty to do here.
I think they've covered it.
I hope we have.
Is that all?
Cough drop?
No! Thank you.
Cough drop. Anybody want a cough drop?
Shall we get back to the case?
I'll take one. Thank you. Now, there's something else I'd like to point out here. I think we've proved that the old man couldn't have heard the voice say, "I'm going to kill you."
Well, I disagree.
So do I. Let's hear him out.
But supposing the old man did hear the voice say, "I'm going to kill you," this phrase, how many times has each of you used it? Probably hundreds. You do that once more, Junior, I'm gonna murder you. Come on, Rocky, kill him. We say it